As far as I'm concerned, any politician that takes money from Zionists for Israel fits in with the common definition of living on the DL. The whole thing behind the political download is I feel strange when politicians are advocating for somebody else. Like in this case, we're talking about lobbies. And in particular right now, I'm talking about the Zionist lobby, and I'm not talking about Israel or Jewish people, for that matter. And I don't want to be all corny and be like, yo, some of my best friends are, and it's true, some of my good friends are Jewish. One of my best teachers in life, one of the people that really taught me how to move, how to play the game, was a PhD in finance named Paul Nadler, and he looked out for me like crazy. I'm still using lessons that he gave me. But in terms of politicians taking money from a lobby and then that money and that relationship replacing their relationship with their constituents, I think is corny. And in the case of that poem, The Political Download, I mentioned Cory Booker first because he was the mayor of Newark. And the way I first even heard him, right, I was born in Newark, grew up in Essex County. The way I first even heard of him was when he was running. And we was like, yo, where he come from? Because like Kenneth Gibson, a little before my time, my parents' time, they knew where he came from. And Sharp James, who came after Kenneth Gibson, he was like he was the gym teacher at my mother's school at Clinton Place. So like everybody knew who he was. When Cory Booker came, it was like, who is this cat? And it was even more uncomfortable because he started his campaign by camping out in the projects. Like that was his publicity stunt. We're like, he not even from that project. He's not from Newark. He ain't even from Essex County. And technically he ain't even from Jersey, if you really want to get down to it. But when I met him, because I don't really like to judge people till I actually meet them face to face. So when I met him, I was coming out of the Robert Treat. It was like the middle of the day, man, people everywhere. And I see him and I'm like, hey, how are you? It's good to meet you. And he looked like shook, which is not something that you really see from people in Newark in general, but especially in the middle of the day in a busy downtown right across from the most prestigious theater in the state, you should be comfortable. But dude was like shook just because I, put my hand out. And I contrast that with Sharp James that I brought up earlier because I have been, I think it's William Street, but it's dark, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, wherever Jay's is in Newark, the restaurant. I just happen to be walking past, and I see Sharp James come out. He's saying goodbye to his people. They turn around, start to walk to his car. And I'm like, how you doing, Mr. Mayor? It's good to meet you. And he like, hey, what's up, little brother? What's up, young blood? And I figured that's how I go. So, like I said, man, it all makes me uncomfortable. And then to see that person and some of the other cats talking about how the Zionist lobby is the most important thing to them, and it's like fuck their constituents. I'm like, all right, then that's like being on the down low. You taking their money and you turning your back on the people that love you because you pretty much selling your ass. As far as I'm concerned, any politician that takes money from Zionists for Israel fits in with the common definition of living on the DL. I mean, do tell, how you gonna continue to vote for politicians like a Cory Booker or Hakeem Jeffries or Ted Cruz when you know that almost nothing they do in Congress is dictated by you? When you know that almost none of their moves are mandated by you, but you gonna let them kick you to the curb when you putting them in power is what they use to accrue the wares to solicit illicit fares and then drive right by you. I mean, how you gonna select representatives that are reprehensible when you know the sensible thing to do would be to vote them out of office, but instead you'd rather play OnlyFans and be subjected to the spectacle of watching them do disrespectful things with their orifice. It's torturous to watch a man that used to stand upright all of a sudden decide he want to spend the rest of his life grabbing his ankles like some type of contortionist. And what's really unfortunate is that you already know that they be willing to cut your generational wealth if it means they might get better cards dealt for themselves and bluff into your whole town folds in order to stack the deck for the Johns that grease their palms while they stroll on the political down low. Cool. That's it.